Hello again. Now you may have noticed, if you've been doing a lot of cryptic crosswords, that sometimes clues will reference other clues in the same crossword. So, for instance, the answer to, say, 9 across would be monarch. And then lots of other clues will say something, 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 9 across. 9 across is a something, something. So, don't worry, not an insult. So in that case, you simply substitute the word monarch for 9 across in the clue that references the original. And I really love these because you have to get that one clue to unlock the rest of them. And there was a lovely one set by Paul in The Guardian a few weeks ago now. I can't remember exactly where, I'm sorry. But it was all to do with the London Underground. It was to do with tube stations. So they didn't necessarily have tube stations as the answers, but there was lovely little bits of wordplay. Paddington was referenced, but actually Paddington just meant bear was in the answer, B-E-A-R, and there were some other things in the middle. The answer was beggar. So it was all themed around trains, undergrounds, parts of London. And then there was this lovely clue which absolutely stumped me for a while, but it was beautifully done. When I finally got it, I saw exactly what path I'd been led down and how I shouldn't have gone down it. So I'm just going to lay that out. It's not particularly indicative of anything except perhaps to watch out for some really, really sneaky stuff, but I just loved it and I wanted to show everyone. Both end with underground in barking. 5, 3, 4. So it's a phrase answer. Both end with underground in barking. Now I should point out that the B of barking and the U of underground were and are capitalized. So because this is all themed around tubes, trains, I'm reading underground as the underground, as the London Underground, because of the capital U. And because of barking, I'm trying to think of where barking is in London, what tube stations might be near it, a tube station that might have 5, 3, 4. But then you think, underground isn't the definition because it's not at either end, unless it's underground in barking, which would be too obvious perhaps. So I'm working away on this. I can't see it meaning both, or both end, a phrase that means both is possible, but I was playing around with it for a while. Then I decided that I was fairly convinced that this was a phrase that meant this, that meant barking or in barking. I don't think it's going to be a specific location in barking because that's a bit too obscure. So I start to think barking, despite the capital B, meaning mad, barking mad. And I played around with it for a while. I had some other letters in the answer, and I eventually got to the fact that it was probably round the bend, because I had enough letters to suggest it. I couldn't work out why for such a long time, because this capital U and this use of the word underground in a crossword entirely themed around the underground had led me not to spot that. Both end with underground. Ground is the anagram indicator to mess with this, this and this and make the phrase round the bend. But because it was capitalized, because it was all one word, it was just a lovely little bit of sleight of hand just to say this is actually needs to be read as 2 words for you to get this, but I'm putting it all as one. I'm putting a capital just to throw you down the wrong path. And when I got it, I just thought, oh, that is lovely. So it was just a very nice example of how you can be very much set up for a fall, how you need to read every word individually, even fractions of words individually, to make sure that you don't make an assumption that actually stops you from solving anything. So because that was one word and it was capitalized, I thought of it as a thing, not as a potential piece of functionality. And everything is a potential piece of functionality. They aren't words, they're parts of an equation. And I just thought that was an absolutely lovely little trick, and I wanted to share it with everyone. So I can't say watch out for this because you won't see that particular thing very often, but watch out for perhaps whole words that can be split, or themes, particularly within a single clue, themes that lead you down a path that's actually not very helpful, deliberately so. So yeah, basically always take into account the fact that you might be completely wrong. And happy solving.